Hello everyone and Happy New Year, this is Miller's Gig. And yesterday I watched the first episode of the 12th season of Doctor Who. That used to be one of my absolute favorite shows on TV for years and years. I have been watching Doctor Who since season 3. I watched season 4 every day, every time it went out I was watching it. I was not missing any episodes from season 4 to season 8 I think. And then, I'm started to getting tired of the show. I thought it was falling apart, and I was not that keen with season 8 or 9. I was letting episodes come out, and then I would binge watch Doctor Who for a while. I've binge watched the entire season 11 after watching the disappointing first episode, and it was the moment I was broken in an episode called Kablam. But season 12 came out and I had to watch it. I've heard some mixed reviews that it was not that bad or returned to form by some people. And I have to say that the first episode of season 12 was feeling like a very mediocre to cringy Davis era Doctor Who episode, which is a vast improvement to season 11 that was atrocious. That had 3 episodes, only one of which felt like was Doctor Who. So, what was my opinion of Spyfall? And this is gonna be a spoiler review, so if you haven't watched this episode yet, save it as a watch for later and come back when you should watch this episode, because it's gonna be it was a spy fail. It was this review will be savage and full of spoilers. What's the story? We have spies getting taken out by a predator-like entity all over the world, and the secret services, since there is no tortured unit anymore, so nobody has the experience how to fight aliens. MI6, along with other international spy agencies, they get Doctor and her fam, and they assign them to find out what is killing these, well, not exactly killing, taking out these agents. And there is one suspect, sort of like Jeff Bezos of Google or something. He's this guy, he is the king of the world, has access to all those information because he has built a vast search engine. He's the prime suspect, and the leader of MI6, C, is Stephen Fry, who is amazing in his role. He gets shot, and then these predator-like aliens invade his office. Doctor has to do what Doctor does in the past 2 seasons, says off to find a man to help her solve the crisis. And here we get to the problem with the 13th Doctor, Jodie Whittaker as the Doctor, is that she's written like she's dumber than a pile of bricks. I mean, let's be honest, I'm pretty sure that Chris Chibnall, the lead writer for season 11 and 12, is secretly assigning fortune trolls to ghostwrite those episodes, and those trolls try to pass as many regressive and east writings on these episodes, and they get a lot because last season we had an episode where our newly regenerated human Doctor couldn't find where she had parked. We had an episode where she lets whole species starve to death. We have a very cartoonishly flaming gay guy that made me think that, oh my god, I really miss the Davis era, where you had to make jokes at the disproportionately large amount of homosexual and side characters, because there was at least one of them in this episode. And actually in this episode, women were victims of other women and this very woman-hating gay guy. And then we have Kablam, the episode that broke me. And finally, we had the last year's Christmas special, or it was New Year's special, that had a totally unknown man come in and show the Doctor how to defeat a Dalek. And here we have a former spy who was investigating extraterrestrial phenomena for MI6 that the Doctor knows. He has sent her a riddle on where to find him, and he is in Australia, in the Australian desert, all alone, but he's guarded by 2 more secret agents, and his cabin in the middle of the desert is being surrounded by those spectral aliens that take out the agents, and he activates a shield to trap them, while the Doctor does nothing. Meanwhile, we have Yaz and Ryan playing spies in the headquarters of our potential villain. They get caught. Yaz is sent to another dimension, and then, because Doctor Who, so the companions always survive unless it's Moffat, and then they get resurrected like Rory did all the time, as if killing Rory would impress us, really. But I digress. He's saved by this spy guy who, he's shown Doctor how to deal with aliens, and Doctor is in a loss. But, Yaz and Ryan were invited to this Google Guys party, and it's got a casino theme. Yes, the whole episode is a James Bond spoof. But when I say spoof, I mean it's Naked Gun level spoof. I mean, we should have Leslie Nielsen dressed as John Pertwee, and it would be a much better episode, really, if it was that way. Not Jodie Whittaker. Not that Jodie Whittaker is doing a bad job. I think she's great as this Doctor. This Doctor is miswritten. Seriously miswritten. And it pains me to say that, but then again, I saw Kablam, I was very pissed off with it, and I'm just keep watching Doctor Who right now. I'm enjoying it. I mean, I can mock their atrocious writing and have fun. So they invite the party that has a casino theme because yes, it's a James Bond spoof, and the whole group, they're clueless about how to deal with spy stuff, and again, Gamble, they're oblivious to anything. And the Doctor, which she's supposed to be a time lady and very intelligent, and in the previous incarnation, in the Tennant, Smith, and Capaldi era, she had control over everything, and she was a strategist. And she goes to the good guy and says, "Hey, I know you work with aliens because we stole your computer data, and there was a steganography in there. There was a little code that had steganographed the location of those ghosts you control, you work with." And so he flees. And the fam goes out, they ride 3 bikes, and then we have this pursuit, this chase scene that is, it's a car and 3 bikes. They are running at 20 miles an hour or something, and they do not edit it in any way that it would look like a rapid chase, a high-speed chase. No, they're just cruising at 20 miles per hour, and the bad guy takes a gun out, goes out the window, and is shooting at them. And of course, every single bullet he shoots, regardless of the angle, regardless of their relative position, is ricocheting on the bike's handlebar. Yes, that was funny as hell. That was bad. That was torture level bad. Really, that scene, it was so amazingly bad. It was hilarious. And then we have the Doctor use the sonic screwdriver to open the bad guy is hopping on a plane, and he is flying, and the Doctor is using the sonic screwdriver to lower the car door of this plane, and the fam runs in, and they climb on the airplane. The Doctor is a genius. So my bullshit sense was tingling because we had the spy using the steganography to hide his position, and the aliens were using the steganography. And by the way, somebody did their research, because yes, they use steganography. They know something about computer science, which is fantastic when you watch a Doctor Who episode seeing some real science. I mean, I have to give applaud to Chris Chibnall, who wrote the script for this episode, because he actually did his homework. And the aliens had this alien code, and there was steganography too. But yes, it's bad writing, so I wasn't expecting much, really. And we have this one good scene in the episode that was really great. So the spy guy that was helping the team is running. He jumps on the plane and says, "Oh, I'm very bad at running." And the doctor says, "Oh, I've read your file. You were a star athlete in high school." And he says, "You got me." And I was getting the chills because that was the bigger. I just got it. I got what was the big surprise in this episode, and also it was very well done. I mean, it was we had foreshadowing for this scene, and you can also appreciate that having foreshadowing and having a big reveal, very dramatic reveal. And says, "What? I don't get it." And this spy, O, says, "I'm the master." And the doctor says, "Oh!" I say, "Yes, I took this name simply because you do this O." I mean, God damn it. I mean, okay. There have been other doctors who were done before. I mean, we have the first doctor struck the TARDIS in a planet full of Daleks in the 1963 serial The Mutants. But that was like 56 years ago, 57 years ago. Chris, I mean, she should have noticed that. Oh my god, and this doctor is frightened. She's scared shitless on the master reveal. And the master, of course, had a thing for Yas back in the casino. So Yas wins late. There's a bomb in the cockpit because, the villain is not there. The master calls his guards, and they teleport him and the doctor out of the plane, and then it blows up, and that's where the episode ends. And I have high hopes that maybe season 12 will be good because the fam dies and we're rid of them because there are too many of them, and they make this, they drag this series with a lot of their interesting stuff. And we have this time lady who is dumped as a pile of bricks, which is the same because of the fucking doctor. And Signal just, once again, he's the weak link. The writing in this episode was very weak. It was 50 something minutes long. It was extra long. I think it's 55 minutes long, which is a bit too much, really. It had to, it was too tighter editing, I think, and 10 minutes to be saved off for it to work. Kind of remind me that Chris Simnall has written the season 7 episode called The Power of Three, where nothing happened for the majority of this episode, and people were talking about stuff along the companions, and the doctor did almost nothing until the final 15 minutes of the show. And, the doctor was Matt Smith back then, and he was, competent. This doctor was a total incompetent time lady that yeah, I mean, come on, it's the fucking doctor. Right, you like the doctor. Because she's dumb. She's super dumb. That's insulting to your viewers, to your character, to your franchise, to everything. And yes, this episode was enjoyable in a trashy way. It was trashy bad. It was an improvement to the mediocrity of season 11 because actually Chris Simnall has done some amazingly cheesy episode in his career. And he's embracing the cheese over here, which kind of works along with his total inability to write a good Doctor Who episode, of course. I mean, he had Dinosaurs on a Spaceship, I think. And what else have you written? Yes, Dinosaurs on a Spaceship was an amazing episode. He did The Hungry Earth and Cold Blood. And he did 42 was a good episode as far as I remember. And yes, most of his best episode was probably International Spaceship, but 90% of the awesomeness in this episode is in the title. And he has also done the absolute worst episode of the franchise, in my opinion, Cyberwoman. So yes, this episode was cringily bad, but enjoyably cringily bad. Nevertheless, that was my review. Thank you for watching. Leave me your comments about if you like this Doctor Who episode or not, and I'll see you soon in another video. Thank you for watching.